We're about truth. Wisdom. Empowerment. Urban Family Talk.
It hit me like a ton of bricks that one of the travesties of fatherless homes is that young men don't learn mental toughness early on in life. You know, it is, and I use the analogy, a sports analogy, where you have, in a basketball game in crunch time, you have some players who don't want the ball. Then you have those alpha males, so to speak, who want the ball in crunch time. Like when it gets tight, come see me with the rock, And I was talking to my wife about that, and I was saying that that's one of the crises of young men who grow up without their fathers, because women are nurturers by nature. They're more prone to being led with the nurturing side first. Not to say that men aren't nurturing. Men are nurturing too, but one of the components that mothers offer that the fathers that are the complementary components to is that the mothers lead with the nurturing side. Yeah. Well, when you have young men who are raised in homes without fathers, when they hit difficulty, oftentimes, not always, but oftentimes, mothers tend to lead with wanting to nurture them through difficulty and want to kind of stroke them and make it safe for them through difficulty. Where dads would often say, "All right, man, that's enough crying," Or we don't, it ain't time to cry. Right. It's time to work. It's time to work through. Right. And one of the deficiencies I'm seeing that these are men, the young men, but men, 20 years old, 21, 19, 18 years old, at the slightest suggestion of difficulty, their immediate response is to quit.
Man, come on, man.
It's to kite out, which is why we have such a huge phenomenon on when we have young men who are engaging in sinful fornication behavior. One of the first things they do to respond is to leave, is to abandon. And what we were talking about this morning, Will and I, is that mental toughness is something that has to be cultivated. Yeah. It's something that has to be built. And when we have such a dearth of fathers in the home, oftentimes you have people who are biologically men, but they have the emotional and mental makeup of boys.
With Christ as our standard. Urban Family Talk.